Psst. Good morning. Good morning. It's time to wake up. It's time to start the show. Get up. What will it be about? Think. Maybe I'll think about it after I'm finished. Taking these squiggly things out of my head. I really hate doing my hair. Putting all these little things in it just so they can look curly. Sleeping on piles of rods. Taking out clips. Ugh, tangling. But I guess it helps to look presentable for the show. So here we go.
You're watching African Hair and Its Significance, and I'm your host, Onixisis.
Yeah. Ice Prince.
So this is it, African Hair and Its Significance. I've had the privilege of traveling to different continents and seeing and experiencing African people's lives on those continents. And it was South America, Africa, here in the United States, and I've also been to various places in the Caribbean. And that helped me to gain an understanding about the diversity of African hair, but also the correlations that we have as African people. I've heard some of us say, well, I got African American hair and she got African Caribbean hair, and seeing how it's been described on some of these hair channels as African American hair or African Caribbean or African Colombian or Afro-Puerto Rican, and all of a sudden all these different various types of hair exist within the framework of African people. But let's go back to the continent, shall we? On that continent, there are different ethnic groups. In East Africa, you'll see ethnic groups that have hair that is really tightly curled, along with ethnic groups who have a loosely curled hair. In South Africa, you'll see very tight curly hair, like what we've seen with the Khoisan people. In West Africa, we have many different ethnic groups. We have the Fulani, the Tuareg, the Akan, the Mende, the hundreds of ethnic groups within West Africa. And among them, they may have hair similarities and they may have hair differences. All that to say is that even as we are here in the so-called West, that somehow our hair is defined by our geographic location, instead of what African people are genetically predisposed to having. And as African people, our hair is just curly. And it doesn't change whether you are on one continent to the next, because my hair didn't change when I went over to Africa. It didn't all of a sudden get real peasy. And when I went to South America, my hair didn't all of a sudden get real loosely curled. So these webisodes are framed to explore not just my point of view, but how other African women and men view African hair within their structure. So coming up will be interviews from Africans who were born in different countries that have African populations and who want to share some of their hair stories with you. In this web series, we're also going to talk about the politics of African hair and what it's been like for people like us, and how our hair has been co-opted, how our hair has been loved and hated, and how our hair continues to be a point of confusion, contention, but also as a point of joy. Stay tuned for next week when I explore the politics of African hair. So how do you feel about identifying your hair as African as opposed to African hyphen something else? Let me know your thoughts. Put it in the comments below. You've been watching African Hair and Its Significance. See you next week.